welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well Rotarian Friends, Sunday edition. We are here on a Sunday, ready to break down some games. It was a great card, so I figured, you know what, let's do a show. So here we are. I'm Terry. That's Bryant. May have somebody else or another couple people when hockey comes on. We'll see. But we'll start with, I chose 3 baseball games for us to go over and last pitch as always, and then the 3 NHL playoff games. So we'll jump right into the first game here. The Twins, plus 100, are in Kansas City, minus 120, a total of 7. And this one, it is Bailey Ober on the mound for the Twins, and it is Brady Singer for the Royals here. Singer has pitched 1 game this month against the White Sox. 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts. He pitched really well in his 1 game since, I'm assuming, injury, because he was off for about a month there. Bailey Ober on the other side. In his last 3 games, he's gone 6 innings, 5 innings, 3 innings, 1 earned run, 0 earned runs, a couple walks, some strikeouts. He's pitched pretty well as of late. Hasn't really got any wins yet, in the last few games anyways. But I think this is a good spot here. The Twins, I got them at plus 105 on the money line. They're just playing much better baseball than Kansas City right now. And yes, the pitching might be even. There might be kind of even, maybe even a slight advantage with Kansas City with the pitching, depending on who you ask. But I like the Twins lineup right now. I like the way the Twins are playing. So to get them at I got them at plus 105. That's a great price. So I took the Twins here to get the sweep here. Bryant, Twins and Royals. Any thoughts here? You're muted.
Excuse me. Taking a look at the pitching matchup again. These guys have actually pitched pretty well. All things said. I know you listed some of the more recent splits and performances for both. The whips solid for both of them. We got 1.22 for Ober, 0.95 for Singer. Singer's Ks per 9 is at 10.66, which is electric. And his K rate's at a 30%, which is 11% higher than what Ober brings to the table. Honestly, if anything, this kind of screams some variation of an under. I don't know where I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to lean with the F5. Nick Earl, obviously, who's been on the show a bunch of times. We were talking about this yesterday. For example, the Giants Padres. I couldn't get it in me, even though I knew that there was going to be a solid pitching performances between Rodon and Joe Musgrove. I couldn't get it in me to bet the under 3.5. And today I'm not gonna mess that one up. Obviously, neither one of these pitchers is as good as the 2 pitchers we had yesterday. But with the way they're pitching, the lack of offense for KC right now, I think it makes Ober's job a little bit easier to navigate that lineup. And I don't really think the Twins are all that hot. They're finding ways to win games in any way, shape, or form. But with that being said, I like Singer here in this spot. I think I'm going to lean with the F5 under. I also am going to agree with you guys. I think the Twins are the winners of this game. I haven't dug enough into this matchup to make an official play on the side, but I'm absolutely looking hard at this F5 or maybe even just a full game under. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
All right. We'll move on to the second game here. The Nationals, plus 210, are in Milwaukee facing the Brewers, minus 250. a total of 8.5 in this one. This is my favorite baseball game of the day. Yes, as you can see with the price, Milwaukee is the heavy favorites, and there's a good reason for that. They've been playing pretty good baseball as of late. Aaron Sanchez here, he has not been good. He's 2-3 with a 7.94 ERA. In his last 3 games here, he's allowed 8 hits, 6 hits, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 6 earned runs. He's been allowing runs, and that was obviously 1 game in Colorado, 1 game at home against the Mets, and then in Miami. Now he's going to Milwaukee. The Brewers are tied for 3rd in hitting against right-handed pitchers. So that kind of surprises me because Milwaukee's been more of a pitching team for the last few years. But this year, their hitting is doing pretty well, especially against righties. Sanchez has been giving up runs. So it's pretty quick and easy decision for me looking at this one. I'm on the Brewers run line. I'm on the Brewers team total over 4.5. I would take it at 5 as well. I see the Brewers winning this game, probably something about 6-1 or 6-2 or something. Maybe even more, depending on what the Nationals bullpen does. But I like the Brewers here. I think they are great. Even the money line as a parlay piece, I really like the Brewers in this spot. Bryant, Nationals and Brewers. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Brewers in this spot for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. Um, I think run line is definitely the bet. Shout out to Eddie for that. That's the move. My book has it at -280. I'm not touching that unless it's a parlay piece. So staying away from any sort of money lines, whether it's a F5 or the full game. Those are definitely just parlay pieces for me. It's run line on the F5. I think run line on the full game. They're both great plays in this instance. One thing I'm looking at is we've got Freddie Peralta here, right? His calling card is he's striking guys out. He's going to strike guys out. That's his thing. He's got 12 point. He has a Ks per 9. He's at a 12.11. His K percentage is 32%, which is, if I'm not mistaken, right up there with. It's actually the highest on the board today across all of baseball for all the starting pitchers today. He has the highest K rate. Take a little quick gander at what he's done recently. His last start where he didn't have over 6.5 strikeouts was April 28th, or was April 22nd against the Phillies, and he had 6. Every start since then has been 7, 7, 8, and 10. Most recently against the Braves. You can get over 6.5 strikeouts for plus money. It's even money, I should say, on my book. So I maybe shop around for that. Seems like a good bet. The Nationals are in a bad spot right now. I think they can hit, but I think Peralta gives them enough innings for this bet to cash. I think he can give them 7 innings. We basically really only need 1, maybe an inning or 2 with 2 strikeouts. Will help get us right where we need to. But yeah, I'm gonna take that over 6.5 Peralta strikeouts K prop and run straight to the bank with it. So that's gonna be my official play, and I think I'm gonna sprinkle something on the Brewers money line as well, or run line. I'm sorry.
All right, I like it. We'll move on to the third game here. The Padres plus 115 are still in San Francisco, minus 135, a total of 7.5 in this one. Odds makers really like the Giants and don't really care much about the Padres, or I don't know what it is, but the Padres seem to be dogs day after day. Yet they're playing really well right now. This matchup will be a battle of the lefties. Mackenzie Gore for the Padres, Alex Wood for the Giants. Gore is a really a good young pitcher. He's emerged this year and has played very well. The Padres have won 3 in a row. The Giants have lost 3 in a row. The Padres are the 7th best team against lefties, hitting wise. The Giants are tied for 10th. So both teams are pretty good at hitting lefties. Pitching is about even here, but I give the slight edge to the rookie here, and Mackenzie Gore. Getting the Padres at plus money is a pretty easy decision on what I'm going to do there. I have the Padres money line, and then I also have the first 5 plus a half, which I cashed on both yesterday as well. And the plus a half, I got at minus 125. So I want to talk anybody off taking the Padres first 5 money line plus money. But just in case there's a tie, that's why I went with the minus 125. I don't mind paying the price there. It's still a good price for that. I think it's going to be a close game again, and the Padres will come out victorious in the end. Bryant, Padres and Giants. So what do you think here?
Yeah, I messed up, guys. Yesterday, me and Terry were on the show, and we literally were opposed. We were opposed in every aspect of this in this particular matchup. He had the Padres on the F5. He had the Padres, I think, full game as well, and I was the opposite. The Giants just couldn't get it done, and we were talking about this before we actually went live. Ultimately, for me, I'm starting to realize that the Giants are a very streaky team. Last year might have been more of an anomaly than it is them just being who they are. Like I think they're a decent team, right? With some really solid pitching for the most part. But the offense is they don't have any marquee transcendent talents. Where you see the guys like the Dodgers. You see what the Padres have. They have a Manny Machado. They have a Tatis who's getting healthier, who will be back soon. Where is that guy at for San Fran? They don't have a guy that can just get hot and carry an entire offense. And ultimately it leads to guys just being streaky. And you'll get a week stretch of them being great, and then it'll tail off a cliff. So yesterday they had a chance to make a couple dents in that lead, which was only 1 run, 2 runs at the most, and they couldn't get it done. They struggled there, and so ultimately for me, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go the opposite way today. I'm going to go with the Padres on the F5 run line. Mackenzie Gore, I believe, is a pretty solid young pitcher. He was very highly rated coming out. Both guys have pretty good K rates, Ks per 9. They don't really walk too many batters. Both sitting at a 2.6, 2.79 for Gore, 2.6 for Wood. The biggest thing I think you have to worry about is the fielding independent stuff. But other than that, that's really it. So I think this is another under spot potentially. But more than anything, I just feel more comfortable with this side here. I like the Padres F5, keep it close. That Padres bullpen is kind of dicey for me. They gave up a run yesterday. Taylor Rogers was low-key in a little bit of a jam in the 9th inning. So sorry, my my dog jumped in, wanted to hop in, but yeah. So for me, it's easy. It's the Padres on the F5 run line, and we'll call it a day.
Hey, we're talking about a dog that we both like here, and your dog comes running in. I like it. It's a good sign here. It's a good sign. We both like the Padres, and your dog comes running over to jump on camera. So I like the sign of that. We'll go on to last pitch here, and I'll go over my entire slate. So game we didn't talk about, the Dodgers. I'm on the Dodgers money line, as well as the Dodgers run line. They're just playing really well right now. They're playing really good ball. And minus 135 for the money line, plus 120 for the Dodgers run line. And I'm taking a little bit of a gamble here, and I'm fading one of Miami's good pitchers in Alec Contra, and I'm taking Atlanta, the Braves, at plus 108. for a smaller bet. But I like the way Atlanta's playing right now, and I'm going to take them here at an underdog price against Miami. The Twins, as we talked about, Milwaukee, as we talked about, San Diego, as we talked about. And then I have one parlay. I have the Blue Jays, Milwaukee Brewers, and Houston all on the money line as a parlay there. Um, I did really well in my parlays yesterday. I've only got to one so far today. Other parlay pieces that I would use would be the Yankees money line in game one, the Angels money line, and I dabbled a little bit yesterday in the USFL, United States Football League, and my the team I backed, Birmingham, went 6-0. They're 6-0 on the season. I like New Jersey today, New Jersey money line. Obviously, it's not a good price, but it's good for a parlay piece. So I do like New Jersey there and the USFL. But that's about it for me. Before we get to hockey, Bryant, what do you think here in last pitch?
Yeah. A couple things that I really like. Um, I like the Mariners today. I'm going back to the well with my buddy Logan Gilbert. The game starts in about 20 minutes here. I like the F5 run line. Plus, I have he did not show well last start out, but I think this is a bounce back spot for him. He'll keep this game competitive for those first 5 innings. Um, the Mariners are going to be against Eovaldi, who has a home run problem. Like if his starts are generally fine, but he gives up home runs. It's that is his kryptonite right now is the long ball. His FIP, which is everything relating to pitching that takes away fielding as an aspect. So strikes or strikeouts, walks, all that stuff. It's basically a measure of ERA without your defense behind you is 6.02. And why is it that high? It's because of the home runs that he gives up. The Mariners have hit a couple home runs in this series. The weather's been pretty nice in Boston of late as well. Sky should be nice. Ball should be jumping out. It is getting warmer across the country. Makes for easier. Makes for home runs to jump out of stadiums a little bit easier. So I'm gonna with that combination of things, I'm gonna go with the Mariners F5 run line in that regard. I don't have any desire to touch any of the Rays, Orioles, Reds, or Blue Jays. Too much volatility there with the pitching. Um, I want to back the Marlins, but I would be remiss if I didn't believe that I think the Braves were starting to turn a corner as a team this year. So I'm kind of bullish on that. I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to play it safe. I'm just going to take it on the F5 money line. No, nothing against the F5 spread. So that way, if the game is tied, I get a push at the very least. I don't lose anything. I'm just going to go with the Marlins on the F5 money line here. You can get it. I got it at -130. You can get the full game at -120. I think ultimately, if you're going to go with the F5, you kind of almost like for 10 cents, basically, you might as well just knock it down and go full game. But for me personally, I'm not going to. Yeah. What else we got here? I like the Yankees in both of the doubleheader games today. They got the one at 205 with Tyon versus Cueto. You getting Tyon at -160, which is kind of steep for my taste. He is one of my team's pitchers. Tyon's pitch honestly pretty solid since he's becoming Yankee. He's had a couple blow up starts, but -160 for Tyon against a decent. They're talented. They're just not performing the way that they should right now. But a very talented White Sox lineup is very sketchy to me. I like them on the money line. I'm going to take them there, but I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm not without hesitation. I would probably parlay that with something else. and I probably am just gonna maybe double up on the Yankees to win a doubleheader, to max it out. If you do that, you are getting a value of plus 161 for the Yankees to win both games today, which is pretty solid, all things said. You got the Yankees at home; they're playing well, so those are my leans there. In that first game against Cueto, I like the Yanks to score over 4 runs. Cueto made his first start this year last week. I still think he's figuring some things out personally. Um, and with the way the Yankees are grinding out at bats, making guys work, I think this is a really good spot. You're getting at minus 130, which isn't great for 4.5 runs. Um, but I think it's still worth it. And if you feel froggy, just go for the 5 and get even money for it. But other than that, that's pretty much it for me today. I think that's pretty much it. I also would say that I like the Mets at minus 120 over the Rockies. Gomber is a pretty solid pitcher for the Rockies. He pitches a little bit better at home than he does anywhere else. But ultimately, I like the Mets lineup. They're performing pretty well. Yeah, and I don't know about the total there. Um, it's at 11. I think that's a very trappy situation. I would lean towards the under 11 for that Rockies Mets game. And as far as this first Yankees games under 9, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this could be a game where you see both pitchers get knocked out by the 4th inning. I would not be surprised. I think the Yankees still win because their bullpen is a little bit more stable in the back end. But I would not be surprised if both pitchers are knocked out well before the 5th inning. So there's a possibility. Maybe go with the F5 over 4.5. I think I would assume if it's going to be 9. That's my personal suggestion, Eddie. I don't know how I feel about it, but like I said, these are two pitchers that I'm really kind of I'm on eggshells about. Like every time Tyon starts, I'm like, it's kind of probably like you and Kikuchi. Like, okay, like I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm gonna get.
I'm
today.
starting to feel a bit better with how Kikuchi's done.
No, yeah, no, and I can understand it. And Tyon's pitched pretty well, all things said. Like,
yes.
Sometimes he'll walk like 2 guys to start an inning, and I'm like, oh, here we go, man. So I'm iffy on it, which is why like I'm going to take it because it's more of a homer pick more than anything. I feel infinitely better about the Yankees winning with Severino starting tonight against Kopech. They got him off his game last week. He was very erratic all over the place. So, but I'm gonna double up on the Yankees to sweep this doubleheader. So that's pretty much it for me, except for my hockey picks.
All right. Didi, sorry, but we're about to get to the hockey game there. The Panthers money line. I do not like it. So you're asking me what I think, so I'll just be honest. I do not like the Panthers money line whatsoever. Margie, congrats on your nice 10-game and 9-game parlays. That's awesome. I'm glad we could help. And we will move on to hockey here. And we'll see if we have someone else joining us. We'll start with the first game here that involves my best bet. And because it's starting very shortly, I'll just get right to the point. Florida minus 120 are in Tampa Bay plus 100, a total 6.5. The defending 2-time champions here are plus money at home, having already won 2 games in Florida. When Florida, game 2 was Florida's game they needed to win. In my opinion, with the Minnesota series, game 5 at home was the game Minnesota needed to win, and they didn't. And I knew the writing was on the wall after that. I think in the same thing here, game 2 in Florida, that was the Panthers game they needed to win. They didn't. The writing was on the wall. I think Florida sweeps this series. Game 4 is the game I'm going to be a little bit more iffy about, but I really like them here. Best bet, Tampa Bay money line, plus 100. I get it. Florida needs to win. They're down 2-0, but they have not shown me anything that says that they will. And the defending two-time champions here have shown that they have shown what they're made of, and they're pulling it together at the right time. Bryant, what do you think here? Panthers and Lightning.
Yeah, I agree with you. I bet, you know, I don't know if you remember this, but I bet on that was an official pick for me on the show was the Panthers. I stamped it and said I was going to run with the Panthers on the money line. I know it wasn't a sexy price, but I felt that like they would come out. They were at home. They were right in the game in game one. It fell apart in the third period, but they were competitive. So it wasn't like they didn't like deserve to be on the ice with the Lightning. Game two happened again. They were competitive. They couldn't put it together. And I think honestly them not getting blown out probably hurts them more that they lost those games so close and in the third period than it does that they just got destroyed from the jump. Because now that bit of doubt creeps in. It's like we can play our hardest, man, but ultimately at the end of the day, we know that they're going to pull it out. And guys are doubting themselves, I think now. And like you said, they had a chance. They had their home crowd behind them. They couldn't get it done twice. And I know that they've heard all the narratives all year about, well, okay, you're doing this in the regular season. What are you going to do in the playoffs? It took them a hard-fought series against the Caps. Caps had some guys that went out as well. And you can honestly make a case that the Caps probably deserve to be in this position more than the Panthers did. All things said, but yeah, I just can't see it, man. I think if they steal a game, it's going to be game 4. But tonight, I mean, you got the defending two-time champs. They're rolling. They know the importance of like, all right, we got these guys on the ropes. Let's bury them now. You got them at home. I don't know why you would go against the grain and all of a sudden back the Panthers based on what we've seen so far. I'm with you. It's Lightning. It's Lightning money line or bust for me. I either pick the Lightning or I just don't pick the game at all. But in this case, I'm going to pick the Lightning. I ultimately don't think this series goes 5 games. And if it does go 5 games, it's definitely over in 5 games. No more, no less. So yeah, it's Lightning money line, or I don't pick anything at all and just watch it as a fan.
All right. And if you do want to get your Lightning money line, the game starts in about 5 minutes. So get to it if anybody watching wants to bet it. Also, Florida has yet to score a power play goal.
Yep. They're averaging 2.75 goals a game the entire postseason. And largely, a lot of that is due to the fact that they just can't score on a power play. And you're not gonna win in the playoffs when you can't score on the power play.
And Tampa is the best power play team in the playoffs.
And there you go.
Toller, Panthers and Lightning. What do you think here?
Yeah, I said it the other day. That power play thing, I just can't back them until they fix it. This is playoff hockey. This isn't regular season series. If you can't score a power play goal, but you got a President's Trophy, that means there's something not clicking. Yeah. And so I gotta take that into effect, and I gotta use that when I'm placing my bets. I kind of like what Bryant said on his take on how the Florida players are probably feeling right now. If it were just blowout games, you could just kind of reset that and be like, okay, it got away from us. Okay, we'll come back the next game. Whole new ball game. Like you said, you lose heartbreaking of a loss as they just suffered, knowing that they tried almost everything they could to win that game, knowing that you don't need to go to Tampa down 2. I mean, what was it, like 3.8 seconds left on the clock? I mean, yeah. I had a Kucherov for a point, so it was great for me, but I mean, Florida fans, that's one of the most brutal beats in the whole playoffs so far, in my opinion. I mean, that's just because, like you said, they were hanging with them. They put up a really good fight that game. They were starting to do better, but they still didn't score on the power play either. I get people's weariness on Tampa Bay being a pretty bad brunch team, but again, this is playoff hockey. This isn't just a normal Saturday or Sunday game. Like, this is huge. First game back in front of your fans. You go up 3-0. You got the series. I mean, you've got it. Even if somehow you are lackadaisical in game 4 because you got the back-to-back, then you can still steal one of the 2 over or still the next one of the two. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay on a coin flip with the better price at home. That's just how I view that. And I haven't seen anything with the Panthers that makes me believe that they should be a favorite in this, except their backs are against the wall. But we've seen teams back against the wall before, but even they're on the road, they should not be a favorite. I don't know if there's just that much money that's come in, or if it's just a trap line for Vegas because they know people are going to be like, oh, Florida has to win this, so let's give them another shot. But for me, yeah, Tampa Bay all day, better value. They're at home, they're seasoned, they know the importance. So I'll take the risk. If I lose my $100 on Tampa Bay today in this situation, I'll be able to sleep with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, like, that's what it boils down to, like, right? Like, you can't. The better you have the two-time defending champs. They've won the last two games against this team. And then you take in the fact, like you said, about they don't score on the power play. I don't understand like how anyone really could, like, it's either you put it on the Tampa Bay right here, or you just don't bet it at all. Like, I don't. There's nothing.
The only reason I can see somebody backing Florida is if you back them the first two games, then you just stick to your gut and you hope you get one of the wins.
100%.
That's the only thing. But as far as if you've rode Tampa Bay the first two games and you're just trying to outplay Vegas in here, don't try to get too cute with it, in my opinion. Just ride what's working.
Exactly. So do either of you want to have Tampa Bay involved in your best bets? Because let's say they take a goal, let's say they score in the first couple of minutes, and then it would be kind of
I'll put him as my dog, so you can lock that in officially.
Right. Yeah, I'll do him for my dog. They've been my dog past 2 times. So.
All right. They're also Sam's dog, and then I already said the Tampa Bay money line is my best bet. So we will move on to the second game here. The Rangers are at home facing Carolina. Minus 120 for the Hurricanes, plus 100 for the Rangers. A total of 5.5. My series parlay. This is the one that's looking a bit iffy here. I took the Rangers, and they're down 2-0. But Carolina was up 2-0 against Boston as well. And it looked like they were going to roll through that series. And then when it went back to Boston, Boston 1-2, tied the series. Ended up going to Game 7. This is an important game for the Rangers. They're plus money at home. I took them to win the series. I still think they have a chance to win the series, but this is a really important game for them. So to get them a plus 100 here at home, I took the Rangers. And also, I did do a player point parlay. Hedman for the Lightning, Zibanejad for the Rangers, and then Matthew Tkachuk for Calgary. So I thought I'd give that out now here. And then I also have another parlay with Tampa Bay plus 1.5 for the Lightning, and then the Toronto Blue Jays money line minus 101. I wanted to give that out as well. But here I like the Rangers, and I got them at plus 100. I think this is the game they have to win if they want to have any chance in the series. Bryant, Hurricanes and Rangers, what do you think here?
I'm going with the Rangers. Carolina has not won a single game, I believe, on the road in the playoffs. They're undefeated on home ice. Being North Carolinian, I understand how much energy is generated when people come to Raleigh. But something just doesn't resonate the same when they go to someone else's rink. So it's the Rangers here. Their backs against the wall. I think that they've played well. I don't really think anyone can argue that. Just been unfortunate in a lot of circumstances. They're getting they're fairly good chances on goal for the most part. Shesterkin's been pretty solid. He's honestly been better than he was in round 1 for certain. I think it's a good spot. This is much different than, say, what we've got going on with the Lightning and the Panthers. The Rangers have gotten it done on the power play multiple times throughout the playoffs. They've showed more. So I think backing them now even though they're down 2-0, I think backing them is a much better proposition than what we were just talking about previously. But for me, my official play, I'm gonna double up. I'm gonna do the Rangers money line, but I'm also gonna go with the under 5. The posted total is at 5.5. You getting at minus 140? That's ridiculous for me. I get I get nervous thinking about that. At minus 140, that's like a money line price. And I don't know if I feel good enough about that. All things considered, considering that the fact that the Canes don't look as good on the road. So I don't know if they'll do their end or they'll hold up their end of the bargain on defense to keep that under. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the under 5, and I'm just going to do it for the value, not because I think it's a better play. But yeah, I'm just going to go with it because it's been what 2-1, 1-0 or 2-1. I think was both games, correct? Something of that nature. But I'd rather do it. I'd rather get better value at under 5 than go minus 140 for under 5.5. Like it's just too much of a jump. And on my book, you're getting under 5 at where's it at? You're getting under 5 at plus 125. It's just a better play for me. I'd rather do that and lose than put in a bet for minus 140 and it goes over. Then I'm going to feel stupid. So, I'm reaching a little bit here, but considering the way the totals have looked, it feels better to just try to go get the plus money as opposed to taking this minus 140. So I'm going to do the under 5, and I'm going to do the Rangers money line as my official plays for this game.
All right. I lean with the draw here as well, but I haven't got to it. I'm not sure if I'll get to it. But if anybody's thinking a draw, I could see this being a 1-1 or 2-2 game. Hopefully 1-1 for Bryant. But I see it being a close game here. Toller, Hurricanes and Rangers. What do you think here?
Yeah, Brian, I think you're reading this game right. I also kind of want to back the Rangers here. I'm not going to take anything pregame with this one. It's going to be a live betting for me, just because, like Brian said, we don't know how the Canes are going to go on away. This is their first away game this series, so I'm going to wait and see how they come out because they were terrible in Boston. So if we start to see repeats of that, then yes, I'm going to jump on the Rangers money line. I'm also weary on taking a side because the Canes like unders at home, but when they go away, it usually tends to go over. I like Brian's idea on the under 5 if you like the under because it's a huge value difference there. I mean, minus 140 to plus 125 is 65 cents difference. It's pretty substantial for half a goal, and you can still get the push because if it's going to go under, it's going to be under regardless, but you can get pushed at 5. So, I mean, that's definitely the smarter way to go about that one. The Rangers are playing better. They're playing better. They're not just trying to take out superstars on the ice and then pull some goals together. They're playing a little more established right now. And Igor stepped up. I don't know what happened first round, but it's completely different goalie so far. If he keeps doing the way he's doing, then the Rangers can climb back in this series. I like the home dog at the better value. I mean, that's how I bet. I mean, if you got a coin toss, I'm always going to go for the plus odds, especially if they're at home. I don't want to take anything pregame though, like I said, so it's going to be a live bet. If I had to go pregame, it would be New York Rangers. I also have a little series bet going on right now. I have a parlay between all 4. I took Tampa Bay plus 2.5, Blues plus 2.5, Canes plus 1.5, and who's the other one? And Flames plus 1.5. Parlayed together for a plus 220, and I threw 2 units on that one. Everything's looking great except for the Blues. Bennington getting hurt last night might have just screwed me out of that one. I needed them to win. I just needed them to win 2 games. Without Bennington, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I like the Canes going into this. I mean, we were all screaming Canes are going to sweep Rangers, because they didn't really deserve to be here. But it's a lot easier said than done to sweep somebody. If there's going to be a sweep, this first round is going to come from Tampa Bay, in my opinion. The Rangers are playing at the same level as the Canes. They just haven't had the puck falling for them in the same way. So anybody could have taken the game 2 in overtime right then. Canes just came out a little quicker and just had better puck luck there. So MSG is a crazy place to go. There's the curse that people were talking about, but it's also freaking madhouse there. So because those fans are just Yeah, New York fans. So that's all you really need to say about that one. They're gonna be coming out in the masses today. It's not going to be a very nice environment for Carolina. I yeah, again, I can't force anything pregame, but if I were to take it, it'd be Rangers. More likely going to take them live, as long as they're playing good.
All right. Didi says Panthers score, yes, and I thought, what? Panthers scored, but they haven't. So the game hasn't started yet.
Chill, DD, dang.
And then Cabano asked 1 to 10, how do we rate the playoffs? If
Preds got
Minnesota was
swept, so
still
I'm at a
in,
0.
it would be a higher rating, but since Minnesota's gone, I'm not really that impressed with them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Brian?
I mean, I think they've been pretty solid. I think they've gotten much better with this second round. Just the quality. I think personally, the Battle of Alberta itself is worth its weight in gold right now.
Yeah.
Between the chirping between both teams, the goals, this is the goods. And I think that as long as if this Rangers series gets tied up in New York, I think it'll just send it over the top. Because then if the Rangers tie it up in New York, I think we're bound for 7 games of this. And seeing Game 7 with between these two teams, how close they are in Raleigh with how the Caniacs are, man.
There'll be so many fights.
Yeah, man.
That Game 7 will be a WWE brawl.
Yeah, it'll be worth it. Like I said, I think we get 7 games out of this, out of the Rangers Canes, and 7 games out of the Oilers and Flames. I think that in itself validates the fact that we probably won't get a extended Blues and Av series because of Bennington being hurt. And again, I'm gonna stick by it. The Lightning are getting the Panthers out of here in 5 games. So I think it's been pretty solid. I would say probably at 8 right now.
All right, Toller, do you have a number that you'd rate the playoffs?
From an entertainment standpoint, I put that pretty high. It would be in the 8s and 9s. I mean, if you're not betting and you're just watching the playoffs right now, I mean, you've got great games to watch.
Yeah.
From betting standpoint and my expectation standpoint, I'd say we're sitting about 6.5. And yes, it does have to do because the Preds got swept. I mean, that hurts. I wanted to see a little bit more out of that one. But I think the matchups aren't too bad right now. If Bennington hadn't got hurt, I think that'd be a great series right there. I think it would have gone to Game 6, but now I'm starting to get really worried about that one. I think Avalanche are about to just blow them out. And the Blues are such a great team. They have such good depth. They have so many good players. It's just playoffs are huge when it comes to goalies. I mean, that's if your goalie's not on, you're not going to make it very far. And we saw what Ottinger did for Dallas. He took him to Game 7 on his own. And I'm all next season I'm going to be saying that it was all Ottinger. I don't care what anybody tries to say about any of those Stars players. Ottinger's the only reason they made it to Game 7. And we're gonna see what the effect that has on the Blues here very soon. But again, that has to go with every series here as well. You got to watch your goalies.
All right. Speaking of goalies, we'll go on to the final playoff game here of the night. The Flames are in Edmonton, the Battle of Alberta. A total of 7 in this one. The Flames burned me bad 2 nights ago. It would have been a really good night, but the Flames burned me. But tonight, I think the Flames are going to burn the Oilers, and I think this is going to be a good comeback game for them. I like the Flames to bounce back here. I have them on the money line, 2-unit bet. I really like the Flames here, minus 115. There's rumors about Koskinen has already signed to play overseas. So he's basically just a stand-in for the rest of the playoffs. He's going to be leaving the Oilers and signing. He's already signed overseas for next year. Mike Smith, he played better in Game 2. But I think this is a good Flame spot. Sutter will have the team ready to bounce back here. So I like the Flames here. Bryant, Flames and Oilers, Battle of Alberta. What do you think here?
I'm gonna be honest. It's Flames for me. And I backed the over twice, and it's cashed. I cannot for the life of me get behind throwing under at this series with the way the goaltending's been been playing. It's just bad. It's very bad. I would say that game 2 maybe wasn't Markstrom's fault for some of those Oilers goals, as it maybe was some of his defensemen in front of him. But you got Mike Smith on the other side, and even in a loss, he gave up 3. And you know the Oilers are going to score. If they're going to do one thing, if they're not going to do anything else, they're going to score. So, and that's been the case all season. It's part of the reason why they're here, because off the backs of Connor and Draisaitl, like that's just what they do. So over 7 does not scare me, and I can't believe I'm saying that because all throughout the regular season I would have never even sniffed a line that high. But I mean, you're in like the upper echelon of this sport. You're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they're letting up 13 goals in a game. Like I don't understand that. You can't. I don't know. I don't see enough of a drop goal wise to warrant going under here. I'll if I fail, I fail. But everything has shown us that this is the way. You got to go with the over here. I think the Flames are the better team, and ultimately, I think that'll show over the course of this series. But I like this as a bounce back spot for them, and I like the over largely because I think that top line of the Flames with Johnny Hockey, Lindholm, Kachuk, they've accounted for 12 points already. They're going to keep that going. Duncan Keith is getting terrorized consistently this series. Back them. And I think that their middle lines are capable of doing some things as well. Just give me the Flames money line, and I think you can even do like a Flames puck line for that empty netter, which is almost inevitable, I think. But yeah, it's the Flames and the over for me tonight.
All right. Toller, what do you think here? Flames and Edmonton.
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay versus Calgary as my final for the playoffs. I've been high on this Flames team since the start. It was a rough first game, but again, I'm putting most of that on Ottinger. He was the hottest goalie first round, and I mean he's I think one of the games they had almost 60 shots in the first 60 minutes. So it's like, dude was just unreal. I don't like Mike Smith. Never liked Mike Smith. He's just not consistent for me. He lets in weird goals. He's not good in his positioning. And with the news, I didn't know about Mikko just signed. So with that actually intrigues me a little more because I feel like, what happens if Mike Smith gets hurt? Is Mikko gonna try? Is he gonna really try when he gets in that net? Or is he like, screw y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all sold me, So I that's something I'm gonna watch for sure now. But I think the Flames at minus 115 is a price we're not going to get very often in the playoffs. Even away at Dallas in that hostile environment, I think we're sitting around like minus 125s and stuff. They didn't get this low, so I'm taking them. Like Terry said, it's a good bounce back spot for him. I don't like the consistency of Mike Smith, and he had a decent game last game, so I'm looking for a little regression here. I don't think the home stadium gonna have too much effect in this series because it's the Battle of Alberta. It's not like they're traveling back into the States and back and forth. It's not anything crazy. There's probably some Calgary fans making the trip, so definitely gonna take Calgary. I think this series is gonna come down whose defense steps up more. Like you said, we can't have 13 goals in a game when we're getting close to the semifinals for the or we're in the semifinals for conferences. So we're going to need somebody to step up in defense, and I like the Flames to do that first. I don't think the Oilers are going to do it. I don't think they have the defenseman depth like Calgary does. Again, I think the Oilers are just a two-man team, and they had a great game last game. They were clicking, and that's just something that they can do when they're on fire. Do I see them being on fire every game and pulling them through this whole series? No, I do not. Markstrom needs to do a little bit better. He's supposed to be a world-class goalie. He can't be letting in as many shots as he's letting in. And again, yes, his defense didn't do great last game, but that's where your goalie is supposed to step up if your defense isn't having a perfect game. So I look for Markstrom to have a bounce back night tonight as well. The numbers that he's been letting in are not his average, and I look for him to try to focus up a little bit more here so they can take a good lead in this series before heading back to Calgary.
All right. And we will jump right into best bets segment. I'll quickly show the standings here. Bryant, you're leading best bets, best parlay piece, and dog of the day. So very nice. Hopefully, we'll keep things going. You and I both went 3-1 yesterday, so hopefully we'll keep it going today. Dog of the day for me, it's the San Diego Padres in the MLB. Tim is going Arizona Diamondbacks in the MLB, and then Toller, Bryant, Sam, all taking the Lightning as their dog of the day. Over or under, nothing for me today. There's no totals I like, so I'm not going to take anything. Tim took Houston, Texas under 8.5. Toller, is there a total you like today?
Sorry, I was muted. I like first period over in the Calgary game.
Is that 1.5 or 2?
If the odds are bad, just make it 2. I don't know the exact odds right now.
Okay, I'll just have it first period over, and we'll have it over 1.5 because it probably is. Bryant, is there a total you like?
Yeah, I like the first 5 under 3.5, or under 4. Oh, that's even better. The first 5 under 4 and Royals Twins.
Right.
Taking a stab at it. It's actually, honestly, I wouldn't have taken it if it was 3.5, but then I looked and double checked and it said 4, so I'm definitely going with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Best bets, best parlay pieces. As I already said, Tampa Bay money line, my best bet. Best parlay piece. I was going back and forth my best bet, so I took the Brewers money line as my parlay piece. That would be my secondary best bet. Would be the Brewers run line, but I took them on the parlay piece instead. I could always parlay Tampa and Milwaukee together, but no, I won't get crazy here. Tim took Miami money line or Miami Marlins run line as his best bet, and he took Jeff McNeil from the New York Mets to get a hit as his parlay piece. And Sam took the Dallas Mavericks minus 2.5 in the NBA as his best bet. Dodgers money line as his parlay piece. Toller, what do you think here? Best bet?
Best bet, let's do Flames money line.
Right, minus 115. And parlay piece?
Or give me the puck line instead. I don't know why I'm doing the money line. I'm just going to take the better odds. There's going to be an empty net if they're winning.
All right, we'll find out what the odds are. Oh no, the Blue Jays are down 2 runs. Awesome. Right here. Just awesome. Thanks, Blue Jays. No, my plus 195 is what
nice.
I see here for right now. All right. Parlay piece.
Parlay piece, I'm going to go with the Rangers plus 2.5.
All right. Bryant.
Yeah, I am gonna swing for the fences with this best bet. Got a little bit of a lead. Shout out to the mom who bets because that's part of my best bet. The Brewers run line is one part of it, and I am gonna double up with the Yankees run line. Game 1.
Money line?
No, run line. So we're gonna use Yankees run line, game 1, Brewers run line as well. And those totaled are going to be plus 280.
All right.
If you hit that,
trying to take a huge lead here.
Yeah, you hit that, you can take a few days off.
I'm feeling good. I know I said that Tyon was very hit or miss. I feel like if this game turned into a track meet in terms of just like runs being scored, I like the Yankees. I'm sorry, we're hitting really well at home. We are like we have like a weighted runs created of like plus 130 at home. So if they start hitting, I like our bats more than I like the White Sox, and I like our bullpen to hold it down. So that's kind of where that is, and there's no way I believe there's any value with the Brewers on the money line. So it was run line or bust, like I said earlier. So Let's go for it.
All right, and parlay piece.
My parlay piece is going to be I'm going to go with the Rangers plus 2.5, like Toller. I think that's a pretty safe thing. The environment in New York is just not going to warrant itself for them to get their butts kicked. So they'll keep it close, even if they don't win. But I think all of us were in agreement that they would win. So
Yeah.
this is really just
even if they don't, they haven't lost a plus 2.5 yet this series. So
Yep, exactly. So shout out to you, Mom Who Bets. I'm backing you on that, and let's see if we can up the units big time.
Yeah, the Blue Jays can be bad sometimes.
Rory
Marty's
Mikowicz birdied his
on the
4th
Reds and
straight.
over.
Y'all watch golf?
I do. I'm like a super fan, but I enjoy watching it.
Rory just hit his 4th birdie in a row.
Jesus Christ!
Like, God, this dude's the best right now. Fucking hey.
Do you bet on golf?
I do like make the cuts, but I don't really know much more once it gets into the nitty
Yeah, that's
gritty.
kind of where I'm at. I'll throw I'll follow people who are like big golf bettors, and I'll sprinkle stuff. But other than that, I just watch it for the fun of it.
Right. I got like some people from my college that played college golf, so they'll be like, "Oh, he's decent right now." I'm like, "All right, fuck it, that's right."
I don't touch golf, but hey, maybe in the future. And that is our Sunday edition of the show, the first Sunday show that we've done. We'll see what happens next weekend. But best luck to everybody tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. And we'll see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.